welcome to MetroWest Forum. It's an opportunity to learn more of what's happening in the job market. Already working? Looking forward to a promotion? What might you need to do to get ready for that? Where can you go for the help? What's a career center? What's a career coach? What companies are providing training? We have a lot of information for you in this half-hour edition of MetroWest Forum. We'd like to ask you to join us as we welcome our panel of expert guests. We'd like to begin with Mr. Joe Isles. Joe Isles is the Manager for Business Services for the Department of Workforce Development, and that's part of the Division of Career Services. Also welcome Maxine Snyder. She is the Executive Director of the House of Peace and Education Incorporated in Gardner, Massachusetts.
Good to be here.
We're very pleased to have from the firm of Meal and Balzanti Career Services. Joanne is here with us today, and Joanne's new book, which we're going to have to tell you about in just a moment. But last but not least, please welcome the representative for Community Relations and Economic Development for Instar, Joanne O'Leary.
Nice to be here.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to the show. Joanne, one of the things that Instar is looking to do in order to bring in a trained crop of workforce people, a trained crop of talented employees, is that you're providing training and you're working with whom in order to develop your workforce?
Okay, well, what we've noticed, Maurice, is that the jobs have changed, and we need to have experienced, or not so experienced, but individuals that come with good backgrounds. And so what we've done is we've partnered with a higher education. One of the partnerships is really for our existing engineers, because we know that in order to attract and retain, you have to offer some training. So what we've done is we've partnered with WPI, Worcester Polytech Institute, and there's an ongoing online training certificate program that our gas supply engineers can join in and continue their learning skills.
Some of the more visible position would be a line person or lineman.
Absolutely.
How do you get into Instar with that job?
Well, years ago, you know, like a lot of jobs, you came off the street. Those days are over. We have partnered with Utility Workers of America and Bunker Hill Community College, and the students that attend this 2-year program get the necessary academic and technical experience and hands-on training so that they can apply for a lineman's position. A great job to have in the company.
Well, what about for women? A lot of people are realizing, a lot of employers are realizing the value of a diverse workforce. Diversity is not just about color, race, or what have you. It's about skill sets. What do you have that would attract women in positions where they traditionally were not in?
Well, I'm really pleased because I think I've taken some non-traditional roles, but we do have non-traditional roles for women, and the way we get that information out to our own employees and also for the women in the communities is we've been hosting career fairs, and it's an opportunity to come on site to our facilities to talk to women who are currently doing these jobs and to find out what are these jobs. They're not just engineers, they're not just electric operation folks, they're folks in the gas side of our business. Really some great jobs, so if you're not like an individual who likes to sit behind a desk and you want to get out and you're very mechanical, we've got jobs for you. And so a great opportunity for women.
Joe Isles, looking at the 37 career centers around Massachusetts, all of the information that Joanne said, all the opportunities that she mentioned at Instar are provided at the career centers. How is that possible?
Well, the Career Centers are a resource. They're a gathering place for all the information that goes on as far as hiring and opportunities in the Commonwealth. It is a place that anyone can go, whether you have a job or are looking to get a job, whether you're looking to advance in a career or you want to change a career. It is the kind of place you can go and get assistance with those kinds of choices and hopefully get some information that will open your eyes to new opportunities, just as Joanne's talking about at Instar. There are a lot of non-traditional jobs that people really aren't thinking about because our economy has changed here in Massachusetts. We're not, you know, a manufacturing or agricultural economy anymore. We have a lot of high-tech jobs, and even the high-tech jobs are different than they were before. A lot of biopharmaceutical and things like that are going on. And you can go to the career centers and find out what kind of opportunities are there, what kind of skill set you may need, and maybe find some training and things that may help you get the skill set that you need.
Well, Joe, I'm young, just entering. I want to enter the job market. I don't quite know what I want to be. If I went to a career center, how How could you help me?
Well, we have job specialists there that will sit down and talk with people and try to evaluate what their skill set is, what their likes and dislikes are, and hopefully try to guide them either to a job or some kind of training that will help enhance their skills and get them, farther in their career search.
What's it cost for me to do that?
Oh, it costs nothing for someone to come in the Career Center and sit down and talk with the job specialist. Majority of the services that are available at Career Centers are totally free to employers and to job seekers. So it's a resource that's out there that unfortunately doesn't get the kind of attention it really needs to get across the state. And that's part of my job, is to get out there and try to give them some more attention.
So you see some value in working with companies like NSTAR and others to partner with the career centers?
Oh, definitely. Actually, I've been to NSTAR and I've worked on collaborations with NSTAR. Again, they're one of the large employers here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that is thinking forward enough to realize that they can't rely on people walking through the doors to have the skill set that they need. They are partnering with the career centers and things to help find the kind of folks that they need, and they're actually out there trying to train their own staff, which is another very good point that goes on at NSTAR. They realize the fact that no one's going to have the exact skill set that they're looking for. There has to be some work on the side of the career centers, on the side of the employers, to get the workforce up to where it needs to be for
getting them up to where
today.
They need to be today. At Meal and Balzati, which provides career services, you are, I believe, a very vital link. You provide some services similar to a career center, but there is a uniqueness to your business. Walk us through that, would you?
I would say the uniqueness is we spend a lot of time helping people understand the job market today. Career centers do that as well, but we focus in on each individual and work with them in that regard. Not only have, of course, jobs changed, but how to get them has changed. Today, you have senior executives who are finding jobs by using something called LinkedIn, linkedin.com. It's a social networking site out there which really is more business networking. So looking and seeing how things are done today. For example, people will send a resume in to a company and not get a response until maybe weeks later, if any. That's what I call job search shock for a lot of people who years ago would just walk in, fill out an application, get an interview. It isn't that way anymore. So I think all of us here are helping people with those changes.
I'd like to come back to you for two segments. We're kind of like in this sandwich generation where we have our parents, here we are, and we also have children. What do you do for both ends of the spectrum there, Joanne? I want to stay with that for a minute. Here I am, I'd like to enter the workforce, but I don't have experience, or I'm 50 plus,
Sure.
and all of a sudden, uh-oh, has happened at my company.
Right, right. You know, it's interesting you say that because age is an issue at both ends.
Right.
I hear from the MBAs, for example, and the people coming fresh out of college, nobody will hire me because I have no experience. And I hear from the 50-plus-year-olds who say, nobody will hire me because I have too much experience. It's really how you communicate your value to the employer. So whether you're 18 and have no degree or certifications, you can certainly learn what's out there that you want to do through assessments and so forth. It's the same thing at 50 plus. I ask people to be flexible and to do what I call thinking sideways. Think about other ways you can use your skills and talents and who you are.
For women who have not been in the job market for a long time, or if ever, they've been a successful manager of the house, and I use the word manager, not housewife, you know, because you're not married to the house.
Yeah.
It seems like you might be chained there, but you know, but all of a sudden, you know, the situation has changed, and individuals are forced to enter the job market. What's out there? What do you provide that would assist in that manner?
Well, at the House of Peace and Education, we work with women who are in the exact situation you describe, as well as some others where they need to enter or re-enter or advance in the workforce. And our working with them individually in very small class settings, 4 women at a time, allows us to really partner with a person who, coming in at the level where she is, helping her in the month that she's with us to move towards her goals with a lot of support from our career center, from our community college, with internships in the community, as well as in-house services.
What led you to the structure where you would want to have involvement with the Career Center, community colleges, and technical schools?
Well, that's an easy answer. We're a small organization, and we do all of the fundraising to allow the women to come to our program. That means that we have to be very creative and efficient in how we do it. And so not duplicating in-house the services that are present in our community is a fundamental tenet of what we do.
I want to turn back to Joanne O'Leary. Joanne, you wear a number of hats, not just at NSTAR in terms of community relations and economic development. I know that you sit on the boards of several chambers of commerce. Why is that important, and what is the end result for people who would be watching this program? What's the value?
The key for me is to really understand who it is that we're servicing, who makes up the towns and the cities, and what better way but to get involved into the communities. It leads me to opportunities to find out what programs are going to support the youth or the adults or even seniors, and it allows me to support those programs. In the past, we have done programs with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, a key skill we continue to hear as the industries require these types of background information. And so there was a middle school program that we supported, and it introduced kids at a young age to science. Great way, have fun, enjoy, maybe explore that as a career opportunity. Also at the Chamber, it's opened my eyes just to the school-to-business partnerships that are existing. I'm able to take ideas, bring them back in-house to say, hey, is this something we need to do, or let me link you up. And it's been very, very successful, and it's great. And it gives kids really a chance of hope to say there's some scholarships that are available if I do really well through the Chamber. And also, just being on this panel, I now know more about the career. I know, Maxine, what it is that you do, and Joanne, your skills are just so great. There's so many people that come up to me to say, where do I get started? How do I do? I mean, the best way for me, if you want to get started at NSTAR, is to really go to our website, www.nstar, or nstar.com.
And with that, what we'll do is that we'll put some information up on screen so that all of you out there, in case you would like to be in further contact with our panelists, you'll know how to reach them. We'll be back with more of this MetroWest Forum. It's dedicated to information about helping you better yourself or your family members with new jobs, promotions, and money.
Please stop. Look at our kids. An increasing number of them are overweight, on the road to obesity. The facts are clear. Obese kids could be facing a lifetime of health problems, including depression, heart attack, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Yes, we know the risks, yet we keep dancing around the issue. It's time to do something, because obesity is robbing our kids of their future. Take a first step.
Hello and welcome back to MetroWest Forum. We're talking about jobs, money, preparation, training, how-to. The how-to is really important, and as we resume our conversation, Joanne Neal, you've published a book that helps people to do what? It's not a thick book, it's just basic information.
Right.
What's it called?
It's called The Resume Queen's Job Search Thesaurus and a Career Guide for Professionals, and it is meant to have words that you can use as you do your resume and communicate, but also some tips as well, because the job search keeps changing, and what changes a lot, of course, is technology. So people need to be current on that.
A lot of today's young people do not know how to use this thing and write a letter. Okay, and text messaging has changed the way sentences are structured.
Yes, yes.
Is this going to work in business? Can you do a resume R4U2 or something of that nature?
No.
No?
No. A resume has to really be a much more sober document. Eventually, it can become almost a legal document in your HR portfolio. Obviously, when I work with younger clients or anybody whose English isn't tops, we talk about that, and there are different resources around that will help them with that as well, in terms of if they need help with English and so forth. But yeah, people have to communicate their value in their resume and in every communication they have with an employer.
Joe Isles, earlier today, you and I had an opportunity to talk with a manager of a hotel chain, and one of the things that she mentioned is that with a resume, very often before people are hired, some employers are really forced, they will look in unusual places to find out more about that employee. She mentioned a Go into Craigslist to see what's up there, the name that's on the resume and the name that's on Craigslist.
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook. You really have to be careful what you put out there, Joe. I think is the message.
Oh,
right?
yes, it is. In the Career Center, I've mentioned to a number of people, especially a number of younger people, that they really shouldn't put too many things online that may come back to hurt them at some point in time. And yes, there are a lot of employers who are using things like Facebook to go out and do checks on people because, again, there are background checks and things that people want to do. They want to know what types of people they're thinking of hiring. And with this new technology that's out there, that is something that a lot of people were not thinking of as part of the job search that has now become part of the checking up on the job search. So, but at the Career Centers, again, it's a place where if someone who doesn't have access to technology can come, get use of a phone, get use of a computer to do a job search, because again, those things are part of the way we look for jobs today. The way we've all looked for jobs has changed now. I've talked to my mother, and she asked about what I do for a living, and when I explained to her, that the way people get jobs is very different now, she really didn't understand that. She'd have a hard time today because she was used to walking into a job, filling out an application, speaking to someone, and knowing right then and there whether or not she was right for that job or not because she got to talk to someone. Doesn't happen that way anymore.
Actually, Joe, that reminds me, I'm involved
Exactly.
in the Marlboro community, and they had asked me to join their reality fair at the high school. It was just the best experience. My understanding is the kids, prior to coming to the fair, choose a field, and they get a salary associated with that field. Then comes the day that they come in, and they are faced with choices of buying a car, where are they going to live, and then the money gets a little short very quickly. The next thing you know, you see them, bringing back that car, and they come to my table. What? I've got to pay for this? It's not free, the electricity and the gas to warm your home, but it's a great opportunity for them to just understand how it is that they need to dress. We're there to coach them. The teachers do a fabulous job so that when they do go for that first interview, they look appropriate. They know how to, carry themselves. And it's just great because there's so many wonderful young students out there that I really, and some of the activities that I've done in the communities, actually at one of your events for a job fair, that led to a job at some, for somebody that was looking for a job at NSTAR. And it was just an eye-opening just to say, check out our website, see what it is that we have available. Recheck it each day. Jobs change.
Well, one of the things that that are presented at all 37 of the career centers throughout the state on a consistent basis, and those are job fairs. We're very happy to work with employers. We don't give people jobs at the career centers. What happens is that it's a path, it's an opportunity, it's a way to put the two together. And employers are now starting to realize, or are they starting to realize, Joanne first, and then I want to come to you, Mary. Are employers starting to realize that there is a difference between diversity and affirmative action?
I'd say so. Yeah, I think they need to see that they can't constantly hire people just like themselves. And that could be women, that could be people of color, it could be somebody who has a different age bracket for a certain job.
Can you give us an example of how diversity or the lack of diversity in real estate cost a company a multi-million-dollar contract?
Well, I could say that somebody who, a company that is just looking at hiring the same kind of person all the time misses out on a huge market. If you're not hiring people of Latino or Hispanic background, you're missing out on a huge market there. So.
Because they're consumers also, is that the point?
Of course, absolutely. And if you're hiring people, again, just like yourself, let's say you're white male and you're 50, that's really only a small segment of the market. So it should be throughout a company where people are sensitive to that. And it's not sensitivity or what's in vogue, it's just smart business sense.
Joanne, that brings us, NSTAR has a diversity council and also an NSTAR women's group. Perfect opportunity to get us to learn about one another. One of our main facilities, they set up a table to introduce us to different holidays. It's been a terrific success, absolutely.
Yeah.
We offer recipes. I mean, it's just what other way do you get together but around food, you know? But it's terrific, and we have updated information on the website for our employees, and it's just been very, very successful and growing.
Diversity. When we look at diversity, we're talking about diversity in education. Okay, I've got this job, Joe Isles, and I went through the Career Center when I first got this job, and I took a computer course in basic Word and what have you. Now I have the job. Should I feel satisfied, or should I be going back to that Career Center just in case?
I don't think anyone should feel satisfied. I mean, even myself as head of, a business unit for the Commonwealth, I have an updated resume. Everybody should have an updated resume. You should never feel that satisfied.
Right.
And again, you never know when an opportunity is going to come up. The particular job I have, when this opportunity came up, it wasn't like I had to run and go dig up my resume and update it. I had kept it updated so I could send it off and put myself in the pool of candidates right away. And definitely folks can come to the Career Center to keep constant on what's going on, and as their skills change, as they get more education or new skill sets or any new workplace opportunity, they should be updating their resumes, and they should be looking to see how does that translate to something bigger and better. Doesn't mean that you're always going to find something bigger and better, but you should be looking to see what else is out there, because there may be an opportunity out there that could help better your situation, help better your family's situation.
Take us a little bit farther with that.
Well, I think what you're pointing out is that there's more to getting a job than just the technical knowledge that you need for the content of the job. There are all of the personal skills, the professional skills that allow you to get the job and keep the job. And that's a very important focus for us at the Hope for Women program too, because unless you know office etiquette, unless you're prepared with a current resume, and Joanne is on our staff. She runs our job club for us, for our graduates, and also interacts with our women before they graduate. All of those tips, the preparation for the getting of the job and the keeping the job, are key. You talked about some of the elements of etiquette, and we include those along with making certain that your email address is a professionally appropriate email address, and that the message on your home answering machine is one that you want your future employer to hear.
Let's take that etiquette and just dressing for success, or how not to dress yourself out of the market. So you walk into the job interview and you got the baseball cap on and it's off the side of your head and your pants are hanging down and you don't have laces in your shoes. You got 25 nose rings and you're chewing some bubble gum. What are your chances of success?
Not very high. I mean, you could be the best candidate skill-wise, but again, a lot of employers today that we're seeing in the Career Centers are looking for people with business etiquette and work ethic. Those are the two biggest things we're hearing from employers, And we see a lot of people that on paper, have a background in whatever the job opening is, or have a degree that may match that. But if these people aren't outgoing, if they don't have, again, business etiquette and work ethic, they have a hard time getting those particular jobs, because you can have all that stuff on paper, but if you can't sell yourself, and again, that's part of the whole job search thing, is to be able to sell yourself. Today, people are expecting you to be able to market you.
In certain ethnics, there is a vernacular that is spoken, there is a way that there's a language and a cadence, and in some cases, that doesn't seem to fit the bill what employers want.
Right.
What are they looking for in terms of verbal communication skills?
I tell people, if they're young, use their best SAT language. In other words, something that they are used to using around adults and teachers and so forth.
But what if you're hearing in your neighborhood is we be and I be, and,
Right.
and
really
then you're
hard.
going for a job interview as a customer service type person. What do you need to know? It's nothing against your background, but
Right.
it's where you're going. Take us there.
Well, I'd say that you might want to ask for training in how to best express, especially if you're customer service, let's say you're on the phone. You probably would get some coaching and mentoring, hopefully within a company. Sounds like something you do well at NSTAR, but something along those lines would be very helpful to a young person. And the key attitude has to be, I'm open to this. And I see where we're having a closed attitude, whatever your age, gets in people's way all the time. So if they say, no, I won't take the hat off, or I won't speak the way that I'm expected to speak, then you're getting in your own way. Just as a 50-some-year-old, and when they sit down at an interview and talk about, well, when I was your age, blah, 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 is also damaging to them. It's revealing a different kind of attitude that isn't in sync with today.
Staying in sync with today's requirements. At the conclusion of the show, there will be some information up on where to go for career fairs. Again, I have to give you an opportunity to hold up that book.
Okay.
This is your big chance here.
That's right. That's great. Thank you. Yeah.
We'd also just like to thank you, the listening audience, the viewing audience, and we want to thank all of the cable access stations that have taken this program and continuously allow us to present you with information that's helpful for you, members of your church, of your other social organizations, for people who are looking to better themselves through education, jobs, etc. From Instar, we'd like to thank Joanne O'Leary. Joanne is the Community Relations and Economic Development Representative. I know we're supposed to go this way for the camera shots, and our Executive Director for the House of Peace and Education, which is HOPE.
That's right.
In Gardner, Massachusetts, and it's not just for people who live in the area, it's for
Anyone who can reach us.
anyone who
We'd
can reach
love
us.
to have them.
And we have our author and frequent guest on a lot of different shows. We want to thank Joanne Meal, partner of Meal and Balzati Career Services. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And who have we forgotten? No one. Joanne.
It's okay.
We've really had a great privilege to be part of the Division of Workforce Development, and Joe being the Manager of Business Services for the entire state. He's bringing all of the career centers together for the distribution of a consistent message. Meantime, I'm your host, Maurice Lewis. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll have more information for you on other editions of MetroWest Forum.